The Toronto Raptors are at the center of some trade rumor scuttlebutt. The Raptors don't have a pick in Thursday night's NBA draft, but Mark Stein of the New York Times reported Canada's NBA franchise is trying to trade into the draft, and has its eye on Canadian Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The Raptors are trying to trade up in this week's NBA draft to try and get a shot at Kentucky guard and Canadian Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Ted S. Warren, the Associated Press. The Kentucky point guard is a projected lottery pick, but it appears he hasn't worked out for any NBA team, suggesting he already has a promise from an NBA team. Mock drafts have Gilgeous-Alexander going to the Los Angeles Clippers, who have both the number 12 and 13 picks. Stein tweeted Monday, "Draft scuttle, hearing Toronto is exploring all of its trade options in hopes of assembling a deal to acquire a draft pick high enough to select Kentucky's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander." Article continued below. The 19-year-old from Hamilton has impressive height at 6'6" with a 6 to 11 wingspan, and is strong on both ends of the floor. He initially came off the bench in his one season with the Wildcats, but played himself into a starting role. Any interest in Gilgeous-Alexander raises questions about whether Toronto might deal starting point guard Kyle Lowry. Nick Nurse raved about Lowry when the Raptors introduced him as their next head coach last week. The Raptors also have DeLon Wright at point guard, and would love to re-sign Fred VanVleet, who is a restricted free agent this offseason. Justin Jackson, whose sophomore season at Maryland was cut short by a shoulder injury, is the other Canadian in this year's draft. He's projected as a late second-round pick. Toronto didn't have a pick in the 2013 draft. Then GM Brian Colangelo had traded it to Houston along with Gary Forbes for Lowry. The Raptors might have had the steal of last year's draft when they took Anunoby, who fell to 23rd after his college career was cut short by a torn ACL.